So we have covered bulking meals in some previous videos. However, if you are trying to gain weight, it might be a good idea to try and get in some calories between meal times. And so today, I am going to give you some easy ideas on how you might want to do that. So this is bulking snacks. Now let me just clear one thing up before we get into it. I understand that it is all the rage these days to stuff protein into any possible snack you can think of, to the point where we have stuff like protein water, protein crisps, basically protein everything. If you can think of it, it exists. However, the vast majority of us don't actually need to be consuming protein at every possible opportunity. Those things can be useful if you are a person who struggles to get their protein in, but most of us can comfortably hit our protein requirement through our usual 3 or 4 meals per day. So we actually don't need to be making sure that there's protein in every single thing we eat. People who struggle to gain weight usually do so because of a lack of total calorie intake, rather than just not being able to get enough protein in. And further to that, if you are actually trying to gain weight, then a surplus of protein might not necessarily be a good thing and might actually hinder you. Since protein is the most filling macronutrient, then an excess of that in your diet might inadvertently result in a lower overall calorie intake, which is going to make it harder for you to continue gaining weight and get past your weight gain plateaus. And so with that being said, these snacks you are about to see are not necessarily going to be high protein snacks. First up, we have the actual king of natty snacks, the Israeli medjool date. If you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm sure you were expecting this, and I actually eat them regardless of cutting or bulking, but I do have a mild addiction. Anyway, these are Israeli medjools grown in the Jordan Valley, and per 100 grams, these contain around 70 to 75 grams of carbs, which basically means they are one of the easiest and most convenient sources of quick carbs you can consume. Not to mention, they're actually tasty AF and will definitely satisfy a sweet tooth. Little fact, dates are the oldest cultivated fruit and have been grown for at least 6,000 years. That's old, man. I've tried a lot of varieties of date and I think Israeli medjools are by far the tastiest. They'll keep for about 45 days at room temperature and 6 months in the fridge, which makes them even more convenient because you can just buy them in bulk and then keep them for as long as you need to. Apart from being a good carb source, they are also high in fiber and rich in antioxidants that may help prevent some chronic diseases such as cancer and heart disease. Basically, eat dates. Whilst we're doing dried fruits, we should also cover a few more. So sultanas, figs and prunes, for example. I usually keep a jar of sultanas lying around and then just grab handfuls here and there, as well as sprinkling them on my porridge. These are just a few examples, but dried fruit in general will be a good shout when bulking, and the clue is in the dried part, because less moisture means less volume, which means less satiety and therefore easier to consume without getting full. Next up, we got an all-time classic, the peanut butter and banana bagel. Please focus on that. Yes, yes, yes. We have carbs, we have fats, we have flavors, we have ease of preparation, just all-round goodness. That's what life's about, man. While covering nut butters, we might as well give an honourable mention to actual nuts. Exhibit A, these are cashew nuts. That's a cashew nut. That's Joe Delaney catching a cashew nut in his mouth and me chewing a cashew nut. Just another super simple way to get some calories in real fast. Peanuts are probably going to be the cheapest, but I'm on that YouTube money, so I roll with cashews and nothing less. Just kidding, I get them for free. I also like almonds sometimes. Also, you can mix them up with sultanas and make a little fruit and nut mix. That's super. Well, it's just super. But what do you do if you need to get some fats in and you don't like and or are allergic to nuts? Well, I give you 1 avocado, plural, avocado. Two main things to do with these. First is to just mash it up and spread it over some toast. Little bit of pepper, you are away. Next level shit. Easy to prepare. Solid, quick, high fat snack. Or if you want to go a little bit more extravagant, you can make some guac. But Joe, how do I make guac? Fear not, young Padawan, I shall teach you. So you might see a bit of a common theme arising here, and that is that these are all either high carb, high fat, or both. And they're also quite low volume, because what we need from a bulking snack really is something that's high calorie and low satiety. So really the opposite of what you're looking for when you're cutting. There's no use something being high calorie if then it fills you up and you struggle to finish your next meal. And whilst we're talking dips, we absolutely have to give hummus a mention. This pot contains over 500 calories and it goes down pretty easy, rather too easy maybe. If you've never tried hummus, then I will allow you to pause this video whilst you sprint to the shops immediately. And if you have tried it, let's talk about how sick it is in the comments, please. I would love that conversation. Just a side note, dip whatever the fuck you want, but I am using these quote-unquote thins, whatever that means. Some kind of dry cracker type thing, and although they're not particularly high in calories, they do have the structural integrity to carry a wad of hummus and therefore perform their function as a vehicle for dips. Okay, this next snack is the embodiment of simple and effective. I have actually heard of some people resorting to drinking oil in their shakes to gain weight, but for us civilized people, we have bread and balsamic vinegar to make it much more palatable. The only thing I would say is make sure you are using extra virgin olive oil. Also, you can put on some sunglasses and play Italian music for that extra Euro feel. Okay, this next one is just a small version of a meal that I have pretty often. Little pot of full fat yogurt. If you are trying to gain weight, don't be scared of the full fat. Now, this is the key move. Oats are not enough. We need oats baked in honey, aka granola. The volume to calorie ratio on this stuff is wild, so if you need to get some carbs in, get involved. Next one ain't for everyone, mackerel on toast. I got a big sleeve of these mackerel tins from Costco and I slam one on toast whenever I feel like my omega-3 levels are running low. Obviously that's a joke and I can't tell if they're running low, but it's nice to keep topped up because there aren't many fat sources as good as oily fish in terms of polyunsaturates. Okay, I tried to keep things pretty quote-unquote clean so far, but if you are gonna get involved in some chocolate, then dark is probably a slightly better option nutritionally just due to its antioxidant content. However, be careful if you are eating late at night because there is actually a decent bit of caffeine in it. Okay, we out. Ciao ciao. Like my video.
They see me rolling. They hating. Ooh, Zee! Jordy Lenny is my hero.